Hey love, how are you doing? I have been quite alright. Thankfully, the weather is lightening up and I'm really enjoying that. So, I decided to do something a little cliche, which is 20 simple things that make my life really easier in celebration of the 20th episode of Between Me and the Ink. But first, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome. So, thing number one, and if you know me, this will be a little bit obvious, is to have boundaries. There are so many things that we put ourselves that are considerably unnecessary because they're not our problem. So having boundaries will simplify your life significantly because you won't keep getting dragged into other people's shit. Thing number two can sound a little tone deaf, especially given the economic environment that we're in, but it will make your life easier, or it does make my life easier, and it is make more money. It doesn't matter what your job entails, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. Any opportunity to make more money will reduce your stress levels significantly. There are a lot of marketable skills that you can learn. There are a lot of ways that you can market the skills that you have. You can also leverage your skills or your assets to make more money. And I am so against turning your hobbies into money-making ventures because that kind of fucks them up. But if you need more money and you have a way to make more money, please don't hold yourself back. I mean, within reasons, and things are just bad ideas. Thing number three is always be on time. For some reason, being late is very stressful. Even people who say they're always late, it kind of stresses them out to be late because generally it's bad manners to be late, to keep people waiting, especially if you knew what time you're supposed to show up in advance and you still show up late. Yeah, it's just generally a shitty thing to do. So figure out how to be on time. Learn time management skills or whatever. Just be on time. It makes your life less stressful because now you're not rushing, you're not feeling shitty, you're not hoping that you're not getting judged. Because, babe, you are getting judged for being late. So just don't be late. Thing number four, if you're planning on spending more time with someone, plan the next date while you are on that date. I hope that does not sound confusing at all. So let's say I'm out with my friends today. Towards the end of the date, I will want to know when is the next time we're hanging out. So even if we don't nail down a particular date and time or even venue, we have the conversation of we need to hang out maybe next month or on this particular holiday that is coming up. That way I don't have to wonder about whether or not I'm going to see them again. And it's easy to imagine that, these are my friends, I'm always going to see them, but that is how you end up losing touch with people, by not making plans for when to see them. And we don't want to complicate relationships anymore, so just make them easy by scheduling time with the people that you care about in advance. Thing number five is text people as soon as they pop up in your head. I am not so good at doing this, but whenever I do it, it actually really feels good because I have learned that I have to be intentional when it comes to keeping in contact with the people that I care about. And yes, I am trying and I will keep trying, but don't do what I do. Text people as soon as they pop up in your head, okay? Thing number six is asking for help with the things that you can't or don't want to do. And I know we've come from this place that glamorizes doing it all, but as I grow older, I realize that I don't really have to do it all. Like right now, I would happily pay someone to do shit that I can do, but I don't want to do. Similarly, if I realize that I can't do something, there's no shame in getting help from a professional. Like, just ask for help when you need it, okay? Thing number 7, plan your outfits the day before. You don't want to be in a frenzy, trying not to run late and rummaging through your wardrobe. Also, coming back home to a messy bedroom because you had to remove everything from your closet to get what to wear. Yeah, that shit is only cute in movies because you don't have to feel the frustration of having to clean up before you wind down and relax for the day. So yes, plan your outfit when you're calmer, not when you're running late. Thing number 8, don't make decisions when you're tired or angry. I know that most of the decisions that we make are emotional, one way or another. But when you are activated, you're not thinking clearly, you're not going to make the right choices for yourself. You're going to be reacting to other people. You're going to be driven by external circumstances, and sometimes it's okay, but for most time, you're going to regret it. So as much as you can, feel tired, feel angry, feel frustrated, disappointed, and all those things that you feel, but refrain from making important decisions because, babe, you will regret it. Everything feels worse in the moment, for sure. Thing number 9, learn a meal prep system that works for you. I know that when meal preps became a thing, I think the first wave of meal prepping involved eating the same thing every day for the whole week, and it was ridiculous. And then we found people who were creating meal preps that were a bit more dynamic and they looked good. Maybe we tried them, maybe we didn't. I don't think I've ever tried those elaborate meal prep systems, but I learned my eating habits and found that I just need to have some rice, some cereal, that is beans or ndengu, and then I have to have some veggies, and then everything else I can figure out. So find what works for you and it will make your life so much easier, I promise. Thing number 10, do a regular brain dump to quiet your mind. We have so many thoughts per minute. So if you keep all of them in your brain, it means that you have to keep trying to remember all of your good thoughts and even your bad ones, because sometimes we just like to hurt ourselves in our heads. So in order to avoid the load of remembering stuff, have a regular way to brain dump. Like sometimes at the beginning of the month when you have all of these ideas and plans, just write them down. You don't have to even flesh them out or focus on them. Just write them down and then you'll get back to them later. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just write stuff down because I know I won't remember and I don't want to exert energy trying to remember stuff. So just brain dump as regularly as you need to. Thing number 11 is to set reasonable standards for yourself. And by reasonable standards, I mean, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't expect too much from yourself because you know your capacity. You know how much effort you're willing to put in to make your dreams come true. You know your skill level. You know your skill sets. You know the kind of resources that you have. You know the kind of support that you can get. So consider all of those things when you're setting standards for yourself. And in the same breath, I'll say this. Do not have low expectations of yourself. Do not enable yourself to be a bum. Because, babe, if you allow yourself to be a bum, you are going to be the most exemplary bum there ever has been. Because you know what? You are enabling that shit. No one will talk you out of it. No one will inspire you out of your bumness. Because that is the standard you have set for yourself. Okay? So, don't be a bum. Thing number 12. And I kid you not, this is a life changer. Once it sets in, it sets in. And it is learning the habit of putting things away immediately. You see how you come home from the supermarket and you put the bag, the shopping bag down either on the floor or on the counter, and then you walk away. That means at some point during the rest of your day, You have to create time to unpack and put things away. That's double the work. Once you have the momentum, go with it. Put the things away, put the bags away, and then enjoy the rest of your day. It won't take any additional time. From the time you come in from the shopping to you putting things away, it's the same process. Just finish it and be done with it, okay? I use this approach also when it comes to laundry. If I start doing laundry, it's a process. There's sorting the laundry, there's doing the laundry, then there's folding the laundry and putting it away. I do the whole thing within the same day whenever I can, because sometimes it takes more than a day for the laundry to dry, especially in the recent months as it has been very rainy. So if the clothes dry within the same day, I am certainly putting them away immediately, because I don't want to have to carve out time on a later date to again deal with laundry. No, I want to be done with it now. It's not like I enjoy doing it, so why am I giving it more time than I need to? Thing number 13 for me is unspoken, like make time for yourself. Life can get very, very frustrating if you do not prioritize your self-care, because so many people and things take out of you, and it is fair to expect that other people will also pour into us, so that we don't pour from an empty cup. But the best way to fill your cup is by prioritizing yourself. And it can be as simple as just doing things that fill you with joy, doing things that have a lot of meaning. They don't even have to make sense to anybody else. It's about you. Make time for yourself. Be willing to lean back and let the world burn if that's what you need to. Don't always put yourself in the line of fire. It is not worth it. Thing number, is it 13 or 14? Let's go with 14. Go on dates. It doesn't matter how hectic or how packed your life is. You need to go on dates. And dates don't have to be romantic. I mean, you have friends, you have people that you like to become friends with. Also, you can go on a date by yourself. Get into the habit of doing nice things, like doing fun things, whether it's by yourself or with the people that you care about. We can get so caught up with life, especially when it gets stressful or just all consuming. And scheduling dates especially are a way that you can remind yourself to just stop and smell the roses. Because in a date, you just relax and talk and love and feel loved. Like, those are very important things. Don't overlook that, babe. Okay, the next thing, I have lost track of the number, was a bit surprising to me. It's reading and listening to easy books. When we were younger, most of us, I presume, used to read as a way of escaping. Like, I remember I used to read so much, and sometimes I even used to read books that I had no business reading. And as I grew older, I sort of stopped reading. Like, I would still read a book here and there, but I was no longer reading like compulsively like I did when I was younger. And then suddenly I started finding books that I found interesting, and right now it's mostly nonfiction. And you'd think reading is just for fun, because books are fun for sure. But as you get into the habit of reading or listening to some easy books, you learn so much, you expand your perspective so much, and also you build your character as a person because you're learning new skills. Personally, I've read so many books on psychology and emotions and work and like productivity and just family history and trauma and all of that stuff. And to be honest, I think that other than therapy, of course, reading these books has been a very important avenue for me to learn how to treat myself better, learn how to relate with my people better. And it's a lifelong journey, but books really come in handy. The next thing is to enjoy your morning tea or coffee. And even if you don't have breakfast, in the morning, don't just get up and run. No, take your time. If you need to be out of the house early in the morning, It's okay. You can live in a rush. Like you can wake up and just get ready and get going. But when you get to work, take 5 minutes. Enjoy your coffee or enjoy that warm water or whatever it is you take in the morning. Like just relax, be easy. I mean, it is serious, but it's not that serious. Come on. I have this addiction for lattes lately, and every day, sometimes it's not even in the morning, I just, like, before I get active, I need a minute. I just want to sit there and sip on my latte and just exist in slowness, in quiet. The world can wait. The next thing is to learn and deal with your stressors. Like, we all have stress factors, we all have things that really mess with us. And if they keep catching you by surprise, actually your stress levels will be consistently high because one, you don't know when it's going to hit you, and two, you have not dealt with it. So if there is something that stresses you out repeatedly, whether it's a relationship or it's your work or it's your landlord, whatever is stressing you, figure it out and find solutions. If you need to move, move. If you need to change jobs, do that. If you need to cut someone off, please. Do you need scissors? Number 18, handle your responsibilities. And this goes without saying. Also, surprisingly, it needs saying. When you learn competency, when you learn to get things done, one, you learn to trust yourself, and two, you become a solid person for most people. And strangely, we don't know a lot of solid people. So you being one is not just good for you, but also good for your circle. Be the person that does whatever they say they're going to do. Be the person that does not make empty promises, does not fail people. Handling your responsibilities makes you feel like a proper adult, and a proper adult. And that shit feels good. Or at least for me, it does. Don't say you're gonna do something if you're not sure you can do it, or if you're not sure if you want to do it, because that will make you flake. And babe, flaking is not something that you want to be attached to your name. Thing number 19, learn your play personality and bring more fun into your life. Play personalities, this is a whole other conversation, so I won't really get into it, but like, read more on it, figure it out, and just bring more fun into your everyday life. You don't need to plan an elaborate weekend or anything to have fun. You can have fun every day, for sure. For me, I lean more towards building stuff, making stuff as fun. So just learning small ways to do that. Like, I don't have to build furniture every day. Sometimes I can just make some art, like create an art piece, or I can sew, or I can write, or I can try a new recipe. Like, just creating stuff is my thing. So that's how I have fun. And I try to do that every day. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say to you today, which is the 20th tiny habit that will make your life easier, is to learn how to listen to your mind and body and take care of them. Because sometimes your body can be really struggling, but you just keep pushing it, or your mind is like in a really bad place, but you're just trying to stay occupied because you don't want to think about the hard things, or you're not ready to process whatever shit is going on. And I get that, but if you don't listen and you don't take care of yourself, there's a way that you will be forced to, and you don't want to be forced to do this shit because it never happens gently. Like, you don't want to end up in the hospital. You don't want to end up wanting to unalive yourself because you didn't stop to process the pain or whatever else was going on. So please, if you want to make your life easier, listen. A while ago, I was reading about self-attunement and how we are not initially taught how to listen to ourselves. And I'll probably do an episode on that sometime at some point. But until then, please, 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 babe, Learn how to listen to yourself, okay? So those are my 20 things for today. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. And as always, I wish you an incredible week ahead. Bye.